Hey, what's up guys, it's Renaldo here. So this video is going to focus on the ANC's Secretary General Fikile Mbalula saying the quiet part out loud. You know, the part that nobody is allowed to hear? Well, he came out and just told the entire world what the ANC's plans are. Now, this happened last week before the ANC's 114th birthday celebrations to a bunch of delegates, and media was also in attendance. I'm not sure if he realized they were in attendance, but he came out and said what everybody has pretty much been saying except mainstream media. Now, before I show the video, please be sure to subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free, and the overwhelming majority of you that regularly watch my content aren't subscribed, but you can fix that by just clicking the subscribe button below. It'll be greatly appreciated. Alright, so let me show you the video.
And that is why nationalization of the Reserve Bank is a resolution of the ANC. It must be implemented.
Nice. I mean, that's not even what I'm talking about, but you know, they're already talking once again about nationalizing the Reserve Bank, as if all the other things that the ANC has complete control over is doing so well. You know, Eskom, Transnet, the list is endless of ANC failures on entities that they've had complete control over. But hey, let's trust them with the money of this country. That's going to end very well for us, I'm sure. But that's not even the important part. The important part is coming up right now.
Comrades, expropriation of land without compensation, when we get back our power, must be implemented.
Yeah, that's right. He said the quiet part out loud. He did. And, you know, so many mainstream media outlets told us that this is not what the Expropriation Act is, and if you are trying to tell us that the government is going to expropriate without compensation, then you are a fake news peddler and you need to be put in your place. Stop pandering to fake news, stop spreading fake news, stop fear-mongering. And yet, here we've got the fourth highest ranking individual within the ANC saying exactly what we've been saying for the longest period of time. He wants expropriation without compensation to take place. Now, you have to understand how the ANC works. This is the fourth highest position within the ANC. The only people higher than him is the president of the ANC, deputy president, and the national chairperson, and then the secretary general is the fourth highest position within the ANC. And we all know that Fikile Mbalula is very tight with Gwede Mantashe, the deputy president, and also with Cyril Ramaphosa. So the fact that we have been blatantly lied to by mainstream media and by various other individuals, including Dean McPherson, who told us that no compensation does not necessarily mean zero. Well, what do you have to say now, buddy? Anyway, I want to illustrate how hard mainstream media went after individuals, and also by creating a narrative saying, hey, don't worry, this Expropriation Act doesn't mean that they can expropriate without compensation. Well, that's exactly what it means. Surprise, surprise, News 24. Ackerland deception, the Limpopo farm that became a tool to inflame expropriation fears. Now, please fact check me on every single article that I'm about to show you. And by the way, this is just scratching the surface. There are hundreds of these articles. I am just showing you a summary of some of the mainstream media outlets in this country that said these things. Within each and every article that I'm sharing with you here, somebody is saying that expropriation without compensation can't take place, and this act doesn't allow for it. So you can go and fact check me. You can fact check every single one. So this is the first one. Then we've got Driefontein, the vacant Boksburg plot, stoking fresh fears about land expropriation without compensation. Yeah, turns out to be true, eh? Another one. Nil can be a form of compensation. DA's McPherson defends Expropriation Act. Nice. Land seizure and South Africa's new expropriation law. An expert weighs up the act. No, Ackerland Boerdery wasn't expropriated without compensation. Owners sold it privately for 80 million rand. But what they don't tell you is that the owners had to go to court to prevent the government from expropriating it without compensation. And then also they got a lot less for their land than what it was valued at because of the fears that it would be expropriated sometime in the future. Then we've got another one. First take, the Expropriation Act needs amending, but it's not a license for land grabs. Bullshit, that's exactly what it's there for. Then we've got City Press with the Expropriation Act, much ado about nothing, because apparently the City Press doesn't care if you're a private property owner and your land being confiscated. Then we've got the Daily Maverick, land seizure and South Africa's new expropriation law. Scholar weighs up the act. Well, that scholar doesn't know what they're talking about. Then we've got Ground Up saying the Expropriation Act, we are focusing on the wrong questions. And once again, they also say that expropriation without compensation can't take place. Then we've got Good Authority, which clearly is not too good of an authority. They say the misinformation on South Africa's new Land Act. Well, the Secretary General made it clear. You're going to argue with him? Didn't think so. And then you've got Africa Check, which over here says what South Africa's Expropriation Act does and doesn't allow. Now, this is an important one because Africa Check checks whether the information is factual or not when people talk about things. And I will focus on this one because over here they say it's not a tool for land confiscation as claimed by critics. That's exactly what it is. And Fikile Mbalula told everybody that is exactly what it is. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. Then you've got IOL, I only lie. Expropriation without compensation, what the new act means for landowners, and they also say it can't take place. And then we've got the Daily Maverick saying constitutional nuances lost in alarmist, misleading debate around the Expropriation Act. Well, Pierre de Vos, can we expect an apology from you soon? Cutting through the maze of disinformation, a guide to land reform in South Africa. Once again, they were proven wrong. And then Expropriation Act splits GNU, here's where the parties stand. And in there, they also make that claim. So it's very clear that mainstream media tried to push this agenda that, hey, this Expropriation Act is glorious and there's nothing that's going to happen. They're not going to come and take your property or your land. Well, that's exactly what's taking place. And now the question is, will all of these mainstream media outlets apologize for spreading disinformation, misinformation, and going after individuals that were right from the start? Of course not, because they don't have to play by the same rules as everybody else. Mainstream media can literally go after an individual, literally destroy their lives, and then after a couple of months, when it's been proven that what they said were wrong, then they can just apologize behind a paywall and move on and act like nothing has happened. So once again, here we are with the ANC clearly telling us what their intentions are, and then mainstream media defending them by trying to hide what they said. Now, I would love to hear what mainstream media is going to say with regards to what Fikile Mbalula said last week, in which he says that they want to nationalize the Reserve Bank and how they want to implement expropriation without compensation. And Dean McPherson, that actually means that they give you focal. Just in case you're not with us yet, as a minister, I think it's important that you know that that means nil, nothing. And you are the minister that has to implement it. So I would love to hear what you have to say after Fikile Mbalula came out and said that's exactly what they are planning. We all wait with bated breath, Dean. Let us know what your thoughts are on this, because you are the minister that has to implement this, even though your political party that's part of the government is taking themselves to court for this act, and then you are on record saying that no compensation can be a form of compensation, and you have to implement this. I'm scared. I'm petrified, because you don't even know the basics, and now you have to implement this. I'm speechless. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is just a clear illustration of alternative media telling you the truth from the start, and multiple mainstream media outlets blatantly lying to you. And not only that, they try and discredit people like me in the alternative media space that knew from the start that this is exactly what the ANC wanted and what they intend for for the Expropriation Act to do. So ultimately, you can go and stick with your mainstream media and they can feed you the lies and the narrative that their puppet masters, the ANC, is giving them, or you can rely more on alternative media. And it doesn't just have to be me. There are a lot of people in the South African space that are doing a phenomenal job with regards to this. One example is the Truth Report. You can go there and find a lot of South African creators that will tell you what exactly is going on in this country. But with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. It's greatly appreciated. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Remember, it's absolutely free. Don't forget to smash the like button, share this video far and wide. And if you support my content and you support this channel, then please consider becoming a member. You can do so by clicking the join button below, and that will cost you 39.99 Rand every single month. And that's all I got to say, everybody. Till later. Cheers and peace out.
You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre. You don't even know me, but every time you see me, you say, I wear my massacre. I wear my massacre.